It's about time with Rashawn. It's about time boxing, aka Mr. Trill 100 Mil. What's up to my About Time Boxing family, Trill 100 Mil gang, YouTube family, YouTube gang, thank you, man, to everybody who's been supporting the channel, rocking with the channel. People who've been donating to the channel. I thank each and every one of y'all, man. Without y'all, it's no About Time Boxing. You know what I mean? I'm just a guy talking into a mic in front of a camera without y'all, man. So from the heart, I honestly and sincerely appreciate each and every one of y'all, even those of y'all that, don't agree with stuff that I say or don't like stuff that I say, and who still watch the video so y'all can comment, and leave the comments letting me know that y'all, I appreciate each and every single one of y'all, man. I mean that from the heart. I appreciate y'all. If you have not already subscribed to the channel and you're watching this video or any of my videos for the first time, please, please, please subscribe to the channel and encourage others to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit that notification button to stay up on the latest with Rashawn's About Time Boxing. All right, so the Terence Crawford, Israel Madrimov fight. I watched a lot of different videos about the, people, leaving their comments. There's a fly flying around somewhere. But I watch different people, different channels making these videos, and and listen to what to everybody's take on it. You know what I mean? Like I watched what some of the other fighters had to say. One channel they was interviewing Caleb Plant, and they tried to make it seem like he said that Terence Crawford was lackluster. He was like, oh, he said his performance. But Caleb Plant never said that. Y'all saw the interview. He never said Terence Crawford's performance was lackluster. He, matter of fact, and said he was in full support of Terence Crawford. He rocked with him. He was just saying that he just felt like the fight itself overall just, he said kind of like lackluster. He didn't say Crawford's performance. But nonetheless, I watched the fight 3 times. And, and a lot of y'all heard me say on a few different occasions that Terence Crawford is one of my favorite fighters. Yes, he is one of my favorite fighters, pound for pound. He is. But if he's not looking good or whatever the situation is, any fighter, I'm gonna speak on it. This is Rashawn's About Time Boxing. I'm always going to, just be as honest as I can, based on what my eyes see. You know what I mean? I'm always going to be that way. And some people were saying, like, based on his performance, oh man, he need to stay away from Canelo. Like, oh man, if he don't need to fight Canelo, oh man, he should go back down to 147. I seen one channel where one guy was talking about, oh man, he just an old man that can box and all that stuff. And I'm like, wow, the disrespect. But see, this is some of the same disrespect that he received before he fought Spence. And when he kept trying to make that fight, now everybody kept saying he was too small for Spence. Oh man, Spence gonna walk right through him. And everybody know about that famous interview out there. Not interview, but the video out there with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. And I think Errol Spence had on that red, the sweatsuit, jumpsuit joint or whatever, And Terence Crawford was like, yeah, well, what you gonna say when I stop you? And Spence, oh man, you crazy. And at the time, Spence, I'm sure he honestly felt like that that Bud, he would never lose to Terence Crawford and figured he could beat him. And so did everybody else around him. But not me, like even leading up to the fight. You know what I mean? I was like, man, there's no way he's not, but Bud, what I'm saying, my point is he received a lot of that same disrespect when people were saying he's not a draw, he can't sell, he can't do this, we can't do that. I know everybody gonna talk about the headlines that they seeing out there. Oh, what about they saying, the pay-per-view, the joint only did 10 million, only did this, that, blah, blah, blah. Everybody, say, so my thing is, listen, since 2016, so what's that, 7 years, he's been stopping everybody and knocking everybody out. So this is what everybody's used to seeing. So when Terence Crawford stepped in the ring, everybody is looking to see Terence Crawford dominate in the fashion, where they know that the knockout is going to come. And then you got people saying, well, that's how you know, man, he, like Errol Spence wasn't himself because he couldn't stop this guy and he couldn't stop Madrimov. And, but hey, styles make fights. But I like I said, I watched the fight 3 times. He won the fight. He won the fight convincingly. See, a lot of times, a lot of people look at what they call effective aggression, coming forward. And Madrimov, yeah, he was coming forward and, doing all that stuff, but he wasn't as active as he appeared to look like he was. I'm telling you. Some of y'all gonna say, oh man, you need to go back and watch that fight again. I know some of y'all gonna comment that. Some of y'all gonna say, I need to go back, watch the fight again. Did you see Bud's eye? Yeah, but I saw Madrimov's face too. His face looked, just because his eye wasn't swollen, but you see how bruised his face was all around. His face was beat up. His face was beat up. And so the thing is, the same thing I said about Gervonta Davis when he fought Isaac Cruz. Everybody was used to just watching Tank knocking people out. Nobody really paid attention to the skill level that he displayed that led up to the knockout. They just watching it and just waiting. At some point, I know he's going to catch him. And if somebody say, well, man, but look at the skill. Man, I don't care about the skill. I'm waiting for that knockout to come. I know it's going to be coming. And then when the knockout didn't come, now all of a sudden everybody said he lost to Isaac Cruz just because he couldn't knock him out. And everybody's saying Terence Crawford lost to this guy, to Israel Madrimov because he couldn't stop him or knock him out. Bud was catching that dude nice, touching the body, working around, controlled the distance in, out, around the ring a couple times, Yeah, he got caught with some good shots. Yeah, he did. But y'all talk trash about Jaron Ennis too when he got caught with a couple shots, that y'all said he shouldn't have got caught with, from when he fought David Avanesian. Now, when I seen, a couple times, like when I seen, Madrimov catch Bud, I was like, damn, like he getting caught with that. But I said, but see, this is what y'all, a lot of people don't understand. Certain fighters are blessed with a certain ability. See, Madrimov, and some of y'all gonna disagree, but I'm telling you, he's a one-dimensional fighter. Just like Isaac Cruz is. That's why Isaac Cruz got exposed by Rayo Venezuela. That's why he got exposed. One-dimensional. Yeah, Madrimov was given the appearance that he was being busy coming forward with the jerking and all that stuff, the up and down and doing all that type of stuff. But he wasn't really putting no punches. He wasn't really putting them together like that. Yeah, he caught Bud with a couple right hands and stuff like that, but Bud was putting his punches together. Downstairs, upstairs, touching him to the body, upstairs, that Bud was catching him. So yes, Terence Crawford, he won the fight. It wasn't no question that he won the fight, but a lot of people, because he didn't, he went up to 154, and because he didn't, dominate or dominate in the way that most of y'all feel like he should have dominated. Like, because, now I said if Bud stopped him, it would be late in the fight. And I said, if not, go the distance, he'll win by decision. So you can't, and that's just boxing. You can't knock everybody out. Everybody, you're not going to be able to knock out. That don't mean that he don't have no power up there at 154. Like, people looking at it like, because he ain't stopped this guy, oh man, Bud need to go back down to 147. He ain't got no power up there. Y'all see how big Madrimov really is fighting at 154? Honestly, Madrimov can fight at 160 or 168 with his frame. He can. But that don't mean that, because Terence Crawford didn't knock him out or stop him, that he don't have no power at 154. What's going to happen in his next fight if he, whoever he fight next at 154 and he stopped them? And everybody talking about, oh man, he needs to stay away from Canelo. I still think he got a good shot at beating Canelo. I do. I know a lot of y'all watch this video and gonna be like, yo, man, that boy tripping. If he think Bud got a chance of beating Canelo after the way he performed against Madrimov, SMF, baby. Styles make fights. Madrimov is not a weak guy either. And even I'll be one of the first to admit that, I was like, man, why Bud fighting this guy with only 10 fights? Is that, you know what I mean? And even though I knew, but I still didn't mention the fact that this dude got over 300 amateur fights. And I felt like that, and I thought that inexperience would play a role, but that fight was a chess match. And Bud did what he was supposed to do. He took his time. He, slowed the pace down when he needed to. He didn't allow Madrimov, to get him in a position, where he was fighting at Madrimov's pace and all that. He found ways to offset Madrimov, and he was catching it with shots. And a couple times, Bud, was, got caught. A couple times, he getting reset or whatever. And Madrimov, catching right in the middle of trying to get reset. And he caught him with a couple good right hands. And I felt like, okay, like, damn, like, I don't know, like, there ain't no punch that, Bud, should have got caught with. But guess what? Same way y'all was saying, oh, man, when Boots got caught with a couple shots from David Avanese, man, he can't stand in front of Bud and get hit like that. Now that Bud done took some shots from this guy, man, if he stand in front of Canelo and Canelo hit him like that, this is why I keep saying, like, if and until certain fights happen, we don't know what the outcome is going to be. We don't know. So, and I understand, I get it. People give their honest opinions on, how they think a certain fighter is going to fare against another fighter. But you can't judge a fighter the way that they making it seem like all of Terence Crawford's other fights where he has dominated and stopped people is not going to play, is not going to come into play or be a factor if he fight against Canelo just because of how people think he performed against ISRAIL Madrimov. That's one fight. So because of that one fight, because he didn't dominate in the fashion that most of us are used to seeing, because he didn't stop Madrimov and knock him out, so now all of a sudden Canelo is that big of a threat to him? He don't have a chance? Come on, man. That's not. He got the experience. He has the skill. He got the heart. He got that dog in him. And if y'all saying that, oh man, he need to stay down there or go back to 47, man. He can't. He go up to 68, man. He too small for Canelo. Canelo been fighting smaller guys most of his career. He been fighting smaller guys. You know what I mean? That's no different than when Oscar De La Hoya fought Arturo Gatti. He was way bigger than Gatti. Or when Arturo Gatti fought that guy, Joey Ganache. And when Gotti laid him out, kept a step back and hit him with the uppercut. He went the uppercut, left hook, right hand. or right cross and put Joey Ganache right down. He was bigger than him. But it's not going to be that type. It's not going to be like that. If Terence Crawford fight Canelo, it's not going to be like you could look at Oscar De La Hoya and tell, like he was physically, you could look at him and tell he was bigger than a Toro Gotti. And when you looked at a Toro Gotti when he fought Joey Ganache, it was obvious he was too much. But I believe that Bud can go up to 68, and I believe he'll give a good showing of himself. Now, because Canelo has been campaigning up there for so long, do I feel like that, if Canelo touched Terence Crawford with a good shot, it's not going to make a difference? Yeah, absolutely. It'll make a difference. It will. But I don't think it'll be to the point like where, I'll put it to you like this. Y'all see what Jamel Charlo did against Canelo? That's not going to be a replay of that. If Terence Crawford for Canelo, it's not going to be a replay of that. And some of y'all be like, yeah, it's going to be worse. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because Charlo, yeah, it's about the money. Now, even though Terence Crawford, it's about the money, but still Terence Crawford is one of them guys too. Like, no, man, like, I'm not going to let you, get out on me. And Canelo said, Terence Crawford is easy work. If he's like, if I beat him and then I give them no credit, they give me no credit. But see, the circle of these type of things can go all the way around. We can say stuff about other fighters same way. Well, if you saying this fighter is easy work, then why didn't you fight him? We know he's ducking David Benavidez. We know that. He's picking people to fight because he know he's gonna dominate. He know he's come on. Everybody know he's gonna knock out. He's gonna stop Berlanga. To me, Berlanga already got equilibrium issues. But slightly digressing. I'm just saying, Terence Crawford, it seemed like he can't. It seemed like no matter what he does, he can't win. He can't win for losing. If he's dominating and knocking people out, he's still not as good as, X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? And but then, but then when he goes, then when he goes the distance, with somebody, then it's like, oh man, well, he's not as good as everybody think he is. That's absolutely false. I'm telling y'all that's false. Terence Crawford is every bit as good as those of us who know. Yes, he is. That's why, if he fights Jaron Ennis, that's going to be a hell of a fight. That's not going to be no easy fight for neither one of them. If they ever fight, it's going to be a great fight. But to say that, he didn't look good against ISRAIL Madrimov, and people saying Madrimov won the fight, it was a robbery, man. Listen, I like Eddie Hearn, and I got a lot of respect for Eddie Hearn. I do. But Madrimov didn't get robbed in that fight, man. I'm telling you, if y'all watch that fight, go back and watch it. Madrimov didn't get robbed in that fight. Terence Crawford won. He won that fight. And he did what real champions do. When you got to bite down, grit down, once Bud real, listen, y'all know me. I usually say, look, when Terence Crawford, switches, it's usually like after, he start getting in touch with some stuff. And then he, switch southpaw to figure it out. Like the open the bell, bing, he stepped out, put his hands up, orthodox. And 5 seconds later, he went right to southpaw and fought that way the rest of the way. But Terence Crawford is a fighter who can make adjustments. Madrimov can't make adjustments because he fights one way. Isaac Cruz can't make adjustments because he fight one way. Rolly Romero can't make adjustments because he fight one way. When Sean Porter was a fighter, couldn't make adjustments because he fights one way. And Sean Porter might see this. Porter Way Pie, I don't know, he may see it, but there's no disrespect, nothing like that. But that's why Terence Crawford beat him. And Sean Porter tell you, like, yo, he can make adjustments on the fly. Every fighter can't do that. And I'm not saying that Israil Madrimov is not a good fighter because he's one-dimensional, because obviously what he's doing has been working for him up until that point. But what does that tell you? Everybody trying to look at it like Bud didn't look good, but what does it say about Madrimov when he gets in there with boxers who can make adjustments? Possible he gonna lose every time. Because I didn't see Terence Crawford doing nothing different that Floyd Mayweather wouldn't have done if Floyd was fighting him. Floyd can make those adjustments, and Floyd didn't have to switch to make adjustments. He could make adjustments from the orthodox style. He just, he knew how to make those adjustments, and he knew how to make you, beat to his drum when he was in that ring. Knew how to counter, when to counter, what punches to counter off of, closing the distance when you get within. He knew what punches to throw. You know what I'm saying? Like, Terence Crawford made all the necessary adjustments that he needed to make to pull the victory out. So, man, like I said, I know y'all just drop the comments in the comment section below and let me know how y'all feel about it, and listen, shout out to my guy Real Deal, man. I know I read your comment and I know you said you felt like that Madrimov win the fight, man, but I urge you, man, my good friend, just go back and watch the fight a couple more times. Like, you'll see. Like, when you can give the appearance or the like thereof to make something appear that you're doing something that you're not doing. And that's what Madrimov was doing. He was, cutting the ring off and stepping in front of Bud and doing a lot of up and down herky jerky stuff and all that. And, but Terence Crawford was more strategic, smarter fighter. He made smart decisions in there. A couple times, yeah, he did some things, that got him, got hit, and he got hit by a legitimate. And come on, we don't know what Madrimov, his unofficial weight, he might have been 165 pounds or a little more than that on fight night. So Bud can take the punch. And if Madrimov's unofficial weight was over 160 pounds, and Madrimov is strong, so me personally, I felt like Terence Crawford gave a good showing of himself. As I stated, just because he didn't knock out Madrimov or stop him doesn't mean that his power didn't translate with him. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean, oh, he shouldn't be up there fighting them guys just because he couldn't stop this guy. It's just that this was his first fight at 54. So the anticipation that everybody had that he would knock this guy out. Yeah, I told you, I admitted, I was one of them people too. I was like, all right, I said, if he stop him, it'll be late in the fight. But if not, I said he'll win by decision. But it's just like, watching, Mike Tyson. People so used to watching Mike knock people out. Mike go the distance. Then all of a sudden, they lose it. Now, all the fighters, they not the same, man. He went the distance. Like, you're not going to knock out everybody. You're not going to knock out everybody. I don't care how high of a knockout percentage ratio you have. There's still going to be somebody that you just not going to knock out. And Israil Madrimov was one of them guys that Bud just couldn't knock him out. Don't mean he didn't dominate the fight. And it don't mean that he don't belong up there at 154. That's all I'm saying. But drop the comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please, support the channel, however you can. And this is all I got for now. Until the next one.